talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today...
Made up my mind that no matter what I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot, you only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot, you only get one shot.
My time, here I go. I am not moving.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Fields going to get that out wide to Mooney. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Now the third running back taken in April's draft. This is James Cook. And this will be a Bears first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. The Bears at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And they're going to get this up to midfield. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A shotgun snap, Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Second and 20. From the gun, here's Fields. He's going to take another shot here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. On fourth down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Texans will take over. On first down, Newton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They're such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Newton. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated.
Touchdown, Chicago! James Cook, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
It's going to be a jet sweep. Newton bats it forward. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton. Man open, here is Jones. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. The first carry for the North Texas man, it's Jeff Wilson. And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession as they got it at the 42-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And he's
going to go down. down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Third down, here's a run by Cook. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Back to throw, Fields. Incomplete, right side to Cook. And they'll work this down inside the 30. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Bears! Cole Kmet, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Santos with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he goes out of bounds after a solid return to the 45.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. And the Bears are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. Down to the 42, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Here's Fields. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 84 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Now Cook running right, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From the end zone, Newton. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he called it that short of the marker, that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, and he lost the football, and the Texans scoop it, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Wilson with a 1st down carry. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Newton now to throw. Touchdown! Marquise Brown, 36 yards. And the Texans get a bit closer. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And a mistake, a surprising mistake there in the kicking game as he sends that one out of bounds. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 40. Option play. Here's Cook. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Defensively, Ogbanya Okoronkwo made the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 34.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Fields. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
He'd been having a good day so far, but I think he got a little overzealous on that one. Still young in this league. Has to learn to try not to do too much on an individual play because, as we all know, sometimes less is more. And throwing away is preferable to making the big mistake.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
A final shot before the break. Newton. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught at the 25. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been.
And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's going to be a jet sweep. Newton bats it forward. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. It's going to be a jet sweep. Newton bats it forward. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jones now in motion left. Throwing again is Newton. He's going deep for Brown. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
It's complete to Cook. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 36 yards on the play. Where you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just a 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
One play action. Fields.
And he's got it. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it, just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team, but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. James Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Back to throw, Newton. And that's going to be caught, Jalen Hurd. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here's Newton. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Sometimes we wonder about play call. Sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. And that'll get the deficit down to 15.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they've been fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next. I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on, because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
Off play action, Fields. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken from just outside the 30. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, You don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. 40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Newton. He's going deep for Brown. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
And with the struggles they've had putting points on the board, he's the one who's had the breakthrough, trying to find him again for another one to try and add to their total.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and the deficit will hold at 15. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking.
He's got him in. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll run with Cook. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. James Cook taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Newton. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Dominique Robinson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about,
there he goes left side. And he will finally be taken out of bounds.
And even 150 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Cook is into the end zone for a Bears touchdown. Well, coaches come into a game preaching total team effort. CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Newton's throw taken in there by Cooks.
The result, only 40 yards there on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think
and now here's another interception.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
All I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. Cook will take it in. Touchdown, Bears. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Newton. This one, and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Santos now to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest. Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game. Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, here's Wilson. And some room to work. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
3rd down, as a defender, all you're thinking about is getting off the field. How do you stop this last play? But if you don't wrap up when you tackle and you play a back like this, all of a sudden he's taking it to the house, and now you're looking at each other wondering, what did we do wrong on that play?
Fairbairn good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And Hill will opt for the touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of those first snaps just because they can.
But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is, all those high-end sports cars, what's the top gear you can get into. This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Bears, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall to 1-2. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.
I would have got them plus 5 points. That was a challenge last week. You can get like 3 turnovers. Dominique Robinson has been doing insane for me. We got like 4 a random left end I found on this team. So he's been going insane. I had 6 interceptions off 6 different people.